Hello, my loves. This is Ashley Muse, your feminine magic coach. And today's topic is about the daddy wound and how it's the cause of your dysfunctional relationships and your dating experiences. And we'll go over some information on how to heal that with your feminine magic. I think this is a very important topic that we should talk about because it definitely encourages one another to heal and shift our patterns. So before we dive into that, if you're here, let me know. Leave me a comment down below. And I'll be on here for a while, so if you have any questions, leave me some questions as well. And also let me know if you can relate to any of this information. I think we owe it to one another as women to really become vulnerable and share our experiences, because that's actually how we encourage one another to heal and to grow. So the father wound happens when we're little girls and when we don't get the mental, physical, or emotional fulfillment that we needed when we were younger, whether it was from our biological dad or from the primary father figure in our life. And when this happens, it literally breaks your heart as a little girl. And, it creates such a deep feeling of betrayal, and it creates this deep void in you. And when you're a little girl, you don't really know how to deal with that and how to process that. So for a lot of us, we end up shutting it down and we end up getting disconnected from it. But the thing is that it's always going to be there. And what happens is that as you grow up, you start putting yourself in situations and around people looking for that father energy, that masculine energy that you didn't get. So the lack of present father energy may have looked like having divorced parents. Maybe your dad wasn't around all the time, and that disconnection can definitely cause some trauma. You may have had a dad who worked a lot. Maybe he was away working or on business trips a lot. You may have had a dad who was physically there but not mentally or emotionally there. It could have been a father who had mental illness or any type of disease, and which can create, a disconnection and a barrier between you and him. Maybe you had a dad that was never around. Maybe you never knew him. You never got to meet him. Or it could have been a dad who struggled with addiction. That was the issue for me as well. And he actually passed away 4 years ago. But him and my mom were married. They were always together. He lived in our house. But because of his addictions, he was never, he was physically there, but not mentally or emotionally there. So that definitely created a lot of trauma and a lot of disconnection, and a lot of issues for me growing up. So the effects that this has on a little girl is that it affects her self-esteem, because if you don't get the validation from your dad, it'll affect how your sense of self develops. It'll cause constant anxiousness if you don't have that present, stable, secure, masculine energy in your life when you're younger. You're going to grow up with that void, and that's going to cause a feeling of unsafety in the world because you don't feel like you have someone having your back or looking out for you. It'll cause a deep rage and anger towards men, and I know this is a common issue for a lot of women, where they feel that constant urge to want to put down the men around them or criticize or nag or complain to men. Because what's really underneath that is your inner little girl that's scared. And she's angry at her dad, and she's scared, and she's taking out that pain, that sadness on the men externally and the men that are around her, because she has that urge to feel above them because she's trying to keep herself safe, but it doesn't work. I don't think that's really fair to take your pain out on men that have nothing to do with it. It will cause a deep fear of men. I know for me, the issue for me is with intimacy and trust issues, because I felt like I couldn't trust my dad. So I definitely carried that pain and that sadness into my other interactions with men as well. And it'll keep a woman on an endless search for love outside of herself. And because she's wounded, it's going to come out through her wounds in very wounded behavior. So she'll find herself, putting herself around toxic men or abusive men or unhealthy relationships. It might come out as promiscuous, dangerous sexual activity. I know for some women this manifests through their social media and the kind of pictures and the kind of promiscuous pictures that they post. And all of that is an unconscious attempt to try and find or win over her dad's love. And it'll also cause deep feelings of abandonment as well because of the attachment issue. And the list could go on, but that's just to name a few. So let me know if you see this in your life, if you guys have experienced this, if you can relate to any of this, let me know. Because like I said, it's important for us women to really share this experience. So that's what helps one another heal and encourages us to grow and heal. So we have to realize that nothing external can fill that void in us. And until you heal, there's going to be this deep, unconscious, I guess, loyalty to your dad to keep choosing men like him, because the little girl in you is trying to resolve that wound. She's trying to resolve that issue that she didn't get, trying to resolve those feelings that she didn't get. So, the little girl in you feels like, well, if I can't have my dad, if I can't have his real love and his devotion and his stability, let me try to recreate it with all of these other men so I can try to resolve that issue and that pattern and finally get my dad's love. But at some point, you have to realize that that's not going to work, and you're going to have to be the one that steps in and gives yourself what you need. This is a wound that I've been healing over the years, and it definitely takes time as more things unfold. But, for some of us, you have to come to the realization that your dad isn't going to give you what you need. And you have to be the one that steps in and really gives yourself that and heals yourself. It's a hard thing to accept, but the process of healing is learning how to heal from that heartbreak. What it is that your heart is still broken. There's a lot of pain that you're still holding on to that you're trying to resolve in external ways. And when you can go within and heal that little girl and talk to her and give her what she needs, that's what's going to allow you to heal emotionally and help resolve that pattern. And it was really important for me to include a module in my program, The Art of Feminine Magic, on the mother and father wounds and healing, because it's a really crucial part of learning how to embody your power and learning how to really step into your elite magic. When you learn how to heal from your childhood wounds, that's really going to free up your energy from all of that anger and the resentment that you feel towards your parents and allow you to rise into your real power. And when we do this, it doesn't mean that we're negating the responsibility of our fathers. It just means that we're learning to take our power back and give ourselves what we didn't get and learning how to reparent ourselves. And that's what's going to allow you to heal emotionally. And the more you do that, the more your self-esteem starts to rise, and you'll feel your confidence again. You'll be able to feel more stable and secure in your body, and you'll have an easier time speaking up for yourself and setting boundaries and learning how to develop a stronger sense of self. And this is actually something that's really hard to navigate on your own, just because you have blind spots and you have coping mechanisms and you have things that you can't see. And it's really good to get support. It's really good to get the right support to help you heal through these issues. And my program covers everything that you need to do that. I created quite a few very detailed original healing practices to help women heal this wound that they're holding on to. And a really big part of healing this is that your relationships are going to change. The kind of men that you attract are going to start changing. You're going to start losing interest in men that may feel and look like your dad because there's nothing there for you anymore. And you're going to start going after high caliber men and high quality men. And you're going to be more attracted to those types because your self-worth is starting to rise again. And the more I heal this wound in myself, I definitely see the shift in the type of men that I attract into my life, and the ability to be turned off by low quality guys. But in the past, I would always attract low quality men, flaky men, men that were really hot and cold, men that just wanted sex, or men that were just not on the type of level that I wanted. And the more I heal this wound in me through my feminine magic healing practices, I definitely notice the type of men that I attract. I attract more stability and more security in the type of men in my life. And I lose interest in all of the liars and the cheaters and the manipulators. So that is all for today. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know if you're here. Let's see who's here. Hi, Monique. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Celia. Let me know if you guys have been through this. Like, how has your father wound manifested and shown up in your life? Excuse me one second. Hello, Ashley. Like I said, this is an issue that I've had to deal with, and it's a really tough one to realize, like, your dad isn't going to give you what you need, especially for the women like me whose parents may have passed away. And that's a really hard thing to accept. And there's going to be a period of time where you're angry, and period of time where you're sad and you're angry. There's going to be a lot of rage. There's going to be, a really deep feeling of loss that you have to grieve. And it is going to be hard. Like I said, it's really good to get support and the right practices that'll help you navigate this. But the more you do it, the more you stay with it, the more you're consistent with it, slowly you start taking your power back. And that's what's going to allow you to really rise into that elite feminine magic and create that stability and that security that you're looking for. Like I said, my program, The Art of Feminine Magic, has a chapter, a whole module on mother and father wounds and childhood wounds, and I created a very detailed healing practice, an original detailed healing practice that really helps a woman discover what wounds they might be holding on to, and then also healing themselves out of it. But that's a very important part of your journey, and you discovering your confidence and your self-esteem is really learning how to reparent yourself and give yourself what you needed that you didn't get back in the day or when you were younger. Hello, Tanya. Hi, perfect timing. Thank you. Yeah, let me know if you guys have been through this and what kind of issues that you've had throughout the year. Because the lack of father energy, the lack of that masculine energy in your life, that definitely breaks your heart as a little girl. And a lot of women are walking around with a deep wound of betrayal in them. And it's really sad. And that's the cause of your dating issues. That's the cause of your relationship issues, is because you're trying to resolve that pain. You're trying to resolve it externally, and there comes a time when you have to realize, like, it doesn't work that way. You can't heal it externally. You have to be the one to go within and heal what's there. And that's what allows you to take your power back. And like I said, the Art of Feminine Magic program releases on February 10th. And the second module is all about mother wounds and father wounds and inner child healing. Because that's a really important part of how to find your powers, really learning how to give your inner child the voice that it needs, and giving your inner child the space and the presence and the stability and the security that she's looking for and that she's craving. And when you learn how to provide that for yourself, that's when the whole game changes. That's when you become that irresistible, confident woman. When you're the one that validates yourself, that's what happens. Hello, Celia. Hello, Ashley. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Father wound is very common with a lot of women, and I feel like it's made fun of a lot. I can admit that I was someone who made fun of women with daddy issues, but little did I know that I had the same issue going on deep inside of me. But it's really important to share that story and share your experiences, because like I said, that's how we support one another to grow and to heal. And that's how we change the world as well. When we heal ourselves, we give permission to the people around us to heal as well. And that's how we change the world. And I don't see any questions, but like I said, again, the Art of Feminine Magic program is releasing on February 10th, and I included a very special module on father wounds and mother wounds and how to heal your inner child and how to heal any attachment issues that you might be going through, any pain or trauma that you're still holding on to from your childhood. All of my healing practices that I've created help women release all of that. And when you learn how to do that, that's how you take your power back. And that's how you rise into your elite feminine magic. So I hope you guys enjoyed that message. Let me know if you have any topics that you would like me to talk about in the future, because I would definitely be on here on live stream more often. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and I will talk to you later.